the main aim of this discussion is to help moms to be able to diagnose their children as early as possible. Because in every condition, children would have to be, every condition has to be diagnosed early. Then we can get proper results or better outcomes. Yes. So straight into the topic. Welcome, Madam Ifriye.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay. Yeah, so we started about 2 years ago. That's right. Okay. Please, can you reshare your story? Can you reshare your story before we go into the news?
Okay. I'm Florence Efriye.
Okay, so we want to share her story about Tetralogy of Fallot. Okay, so a lot of you will be wondering what Tetralogy of Fallot is. It is actually a heart condition, okay, that occurs especially in newborns. Okay, so this is a combination of 4 heart problems coming together. Okay, and the main problem is that it causes a child not to have adequate oxygen. Okay, just imagine your heart not functioning so well. Okay, so we have Samson here. Samson, welcome. Hello, ma'am. Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so we want to start from when you were pregnant. Yes. So how was your pregnancy like?
It was normal. Nothing happened. Nothing happened.
Did you go for? I want you to speak. I want mothers to learn from this segment. Did you go for antenatal?
Yes, always.
Which hospital?
Agbo Presbyterian Hospital.
You went for antenatal throughout.
Throughout.
About how many times did you go?
About 10 times.
About 10 times. Were you on folic acid?
Yes.
Were you on everything?
Yes, I was on everything.
What medications were you on? Do you remember?
Yeah, folic acid.
And what?
Vitamin C. I've forgotten the rest.
You've forgotten the rest. Were you taking it consistently?
Yes.
We want you to share the whole story.
Yes.
You were taking everything?
Yes, I was taking it.
Were you able to eat during antenatal?
I was able to eat.
You were able to eat?
Yes.
Okay. When did you start antenatal? When you realized you were pregnant, when did you start?
When I was 1 month.
Just a month?
Yeah.
You didn't delay at home?
No.
Did you fall sick at any point during the pregnancy?
No, I didn't fall sick.
You never fell sick?
No.
There was no problem?
No.
Your BP, your sugar?
It was when I was in my 8th month. My BP started rising.
Your BP started rising at 8 months?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How old were you at that time?
I was 22.
When you were pregnant, you were 22?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So how old are you now?
24.
24?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So she had BP. You had BP?
Yes.
Okay.
High BP.
Did it cause any problem?
It didn't cause any problem. I had BP. They prescribed some medication for me to take it, but I was taking the drugs alright, but the BP keeps on rising. So they told me, one day I went there and they told me they would do me surgery.
Oh, okay. So
CS,
because
yeah.
of the BP, they did a CS for you?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So how was the operation? During the birth, was everything successful?
Yes, everything was successful. But when I delivered, my sons, they noticed some changes on my son.
Immediately you gave birth?
Yeah.
Immediately you gave birth, there was a problem?
Yeah.
Okay, what was it? Something? Woo! Okay. When we finish, I'll give you a biscuit. We'll go and bring you biscuits, okay? So there was a problem at birth. Can you describe what happened at birth?
When I was on my 9th month, I went to the hospital. My BP was high, so they told me to go and do a scan. I went in for the scan and they told me I had fetal distress.
Fetal distress.
Yeah.
Okay, meaning that the baby wasn't able to breathe properly.
Yes.
Like it's not getting enough oxygen, so it's struggling in there.
Yes.
Okay.
So they wanted to do an emergency CS for me to deliver the baby. So after the CS, they realized my son was sweating.
Immediately.
Yeah,
A newborn baby.
Yeah, sweating.
Wow.
And they checked his heartbeat. There were a lot of changes in there too.
Oh, okay. At birth.
Yes.
Okay, so moms, this is very, very important. Yeah, so she had high BP. They realized it. They saw that the baby was having fetal distress through the scan. Okay, so they did an emergency CS, and lo and behold, when the baby was born, baby was, I think, was having signs that baby was really in distress, like low oxygen. Baby had, I'm sure she had heart, when they assessed the heart, they still saw problems there. At birth, that is part of the first physical assessment that they do for babies. Okay, they check the heartbeat, and you see your doctor or your midwife using the stethoscope to check to make sure that the heart sounds are being heard and it is within normal. So I'm sure when they checked it, there was a problem or there was something.
Yes.
It wasn't fine.
Yes.
What was the color at birth? What did she get that baby pink color?
Yeah, pink. He never had any effect on the color. So it was, the problem was the heartbeat.
The heartbeat.
So
okay.
Immediately they transferred me from Agbo Hospital for me to go to Kumasi and do echo.
At what? How old was the baby at
2 weeks.
So they requested for the echo.
Yes.
Just at 2 weeks.
Yes.
After you have recovered from the surgery.
Yes.
Okay, so for the first 2 weeks, was the child at the hospital or you went home and then?
No. We were at the hospital.
For the first 2 weeks?
Yes. He was at the NICU.
NICU?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, mom, that's why I always say that give birth at hospitals that are well equipped. And from all that she has said, it is so obvious that the hospital was really, it's a good hospital, a well-equipped hospital that is able to diagnose things as early as possible. They had a scan. They made sure she did a scan. After the scan, the first assessment of a newborn, it was done, and they realized it. They noticed it and even sent the child to be sent to Kolebu right from Komfanoche, right from Agogo to Komfanoche to do an echo. Okay. So was the echo done?
Yes.
Okay.
So through the echo, they told us he had a condition called Tetralogy of Fallot.
Tetralogy of Fallot.
Yes.
So was it explained to you? What did they tell you about it?
Oh, they told me it's like they just explained to me, say it is a hole in the heart.
There's hole in the heart.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So they wrote a referral letter for me to come to Kolebu because they told me the only thing that can make my son survive is surgery, and surgery cannot be done at Agogo. So they referred me to Kolebu.
Oh, okay. That's great. I want to ask this question. So the doctors saw, you said immediately the baby was born, the baby was sweating.
Yes.
That was one. And I have received a lot of babies at the theater. So for you to receive a baby right from the womb and the baby sweating is really a bit strange. And so we'll see that there's a sign that there is something wrong already.
And he had low birth weight too.
There was low birth weight.
Yeah. When I gave her, he weighs 2.2 kg.
2.2.
Yeah.
But at that time she was 9 months, but she had low birth weight.
Yes.
Oh, okay. This is interesting. So low birth weight, sweating at birth, and also I think you mentioned 1, 2. Okay. Yeah. So I wanted to ask you.
And he couldn't breastfeed.
He couldn't breastfeed at birth.
Yes.
Wow. The baby couldn't breastfeed.
Yes. It it was very difficult for him to breastfeed.
He couldn't suck the breast.
Yeah, because whenever
Wow.
he tries, he'll be sweating.
Okay.
Sweating. So he'll get tired and stop.
Sweating. So she was sweating and then the feeding.
Yes.
Okay, so what happened with the feeding? How were you able to feed?
Oh, they made me went and buy breast pump.
Okay.
So he couldn't breastfeed on his own.
He couldn't breastfeed on his own.
Yeah.
So throughout, so as a newborn, how was he fed?
We were rather using the breast pump.
No, so the breast pump will get the milk out of your breast.
Yes.
Then was he using cup? Were they using
feeding bottle?
They were using a feeding bottle.
Yes.
That one he could tolerate it a
Yes.
little.
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. So my main aim here is to help mothers be able to identify it when their babies are having such problems. Yeah, so she has mentioned that at birth the baby was sweating. When the doctors also did their examination, they realized that there were a lot of, I think, heart sounds that were not normal, abnormal heart sounds. Okay, baby was not able to feed properly at birth. Okay, is there something I haven't added?
No.
Yes, so these are the things that you should look out for when you have a newborn baby. That is why in our hospitals we always want to make sure that the baby should at least be able to suck before you go home. So in this instance, the baby couldn't suck at birth.
Yes.
They had to use a pump. And then you also mentioned low birth weight. I think that was what I wanted to remember. There was low birth weight.
Yes.
The baby couldn't. Yes. And so the low birth weight, this is I just want us to learn. Okay, so I'm just educating you intermittently. So the low birth weight, that is why when you are pregnant, you do scans, we measure your fundal height to make sure the baby your womb, your tummy is growing the way we expect it. During antenatal, did the midwife at any point mention it that the abdomen is not growing as expected? Or it wasn't seen?
No.
It wasn't seen?
Yes.
Okay. So it was only after the surgery?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So I think we have learned about the signs and symptoms, and this has been very, very educative. I want us to go to the emotional aspects of it. How did you take it? Because at 22 years, being a single mother, I'm not sure you were married, but were you married? Going to give birth for the first time. You know, if it's the second, third, you will say, oh, I have had, God has given me 1, 2 children, that there's no problem. Yes. But this time, it is the first child, a single mother, and you being told that your child is having a condition that I'm not sure you've heard it before.
No.
So did you ever hear about Tetralogy of Fallot before?
No, not at all.
Okay. So how did you take it?
It wasn't easy at all for me. I don't want to say this, but I regretted. I even regretted giving birth because
it's okay. Take it easy, be strong. You regretted
giving birth because it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. Because when I recount, like when I even think about
it's okay. It's okay, be strong.
It wasn't easy at all for me. It wasn't easy because now I haven't heard about anything as such before, and I was asking because as for me, I live with my grandma. I was asking myself, how am I going to even get money for the surgery, because they told me the only thing that can make my son survive is surgery. So even to pay for my hospital bills wasn't easy. So how can I afford a surgery? I was thinking about that. It hasn't been easy for me.
So what was it like? You were asking God questions. You were
I did.
wondering.
I did, because for for the first time in my life, I thought say I was going to give birth and be happy. So we go here now start this year. I was sad. I a lot of questions ran through my head. I was sad. I
So
asked so many questions.
I don't want to remember this, but I remember the first time you approached us. It was the first time you approached me. I think you were telling me that you even wanted to. You were thinking of maybe putting the child somewhere
Yes.
and then going to. What pushed you to that point? What made you? Because I know it is not easy. There's no mother who wants to have a child and just say that, oh, because of this situation I'm leaving the child. It was something that pushed you. What pushed you to that point? It was because
Because I was not having any money, and I was not having receiving any support from anyone. So I was thinking, say, okay, let me just drop my son somewhere. I know, say, one day I'll mean for like no for free, I don't know, maybe some, but because now mean that do say be savior, and the show baby I'm free next son your man I been see that you wouldn't go for your car. Remember, I said, Obitia, eh, na then I'll go be say, if you go for better someone sour soon, to make change it. Baby, I do need dear. And you mean finding what to baby. Na mean trust because me or by me child where they are no for.
so from what she's saying, all that she's telling us is that at a point she felt that because she's a lady and it was so hard. She was just, it was a hopeless situation. She had to struggle so much to even get the money to pay for her bills after the surgery. I remember even after we started helping her, she still had to use some of the money to go and pay some of the hospital bills. So thinking of where to get money to even continue the case was like a big, like was a real struggle. Yeah, so that pushed her to the limit. So let's go and let me ask this question. When did you see that, when did you start receiving some hope?
Oh, I was there one day and I took my phone. I opened I opened Facebook account, so I was scrolling, going through, and I came across a page, midwife Sally. I was not having any hope. I just said, Miss, the imagine me try me like so. Actually, baby, so me call Nintendo, and I'm church your massive.
You can speak English, so speak it please.
So
Okay, you take it.
so I took my phone. I was scrolling, and I came across a page, midwife Sally. I didn't even know what came into my mind. I just decided to go into her DM and test her message and see. So I tested her a message, and what surprised me is I got a reply. That's that moment. Even her reply brought me some hope, because now I've contacted a lot of people. They didn't mind me. So the moment she replied me, I got some hope.
Some hope. Okay. We thank God. And were you okay? So the other aspect was that were you thinking that this were you thinking that were you thinking that this case will take so long? Because for me, I wasn't expecting it to keep like so long. I know that yes, there should be. By all means, the baby would have to grow a little and all that, but I wasn't expecting it because we started this on 2020, 2020 and we are in 2022.
Yes.
Okay, so were you expecting that? I wasn't expecting it to drag to this time.
Oh, okay. I was also not expecting it. Say it will keep long like this.
But here we are. Yes, but we have made a lot of progress. We have made a lot of progress. Okay, so let's talk about the diagnosis. How was it in Kolebu, from Agogo to Kolebu? So we took a referral letter. That was when we came in.
Yes.
When she took a referral letter, I think you were just at home.
Yes.
Because you knew that even if you went for the referral letter, there was nowhere you were going to do anything with it. So
yes.
When we came in, with the support of our followers, we were able to send her some money, and then she went for the referral letter. She came to Kolebu.
Yes.
How has it been in Kolebu?
It hasn't been easy. When I started coming to Kolebu, I met a lot of people with same condition. So, and I realized it won't be easy because I talked to some of them, and they will say we have been coming here for the past 5 years, 3 years.
Oh, you don't mean it.
Oh,
and I'm so impatient.
For the past years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Then I am really impatient because it's like I feel like it has taken forever.
Oh no. No.
You've seen cases where they have been coming for the past 5 years.
Yes.
Wow. So I think that one of the reasons could be that the doctors want them to be at a certain stage, or what is what have you heard?
The reason is one of the major reason is the doctor told me they can't perform the surgery when the child weight is low.
Low birth weight.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So they will give you they will target a weight like 20 kg, 15 kg for you, and you'll be coming. So the child will reach that weight before they can perform the surgery.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. So it means that the doctors would have to do their investigations.
Yes.
I remember you went to even see a nutritionist.
Yes.
And all that.
Yes.
Okay. And then they have to get a target. So has he gotten to the target now?
Yeah, they wanted 12 kg, and since we started coming, it was 9, 10, 9, 10. It was today when we went there. He got 12 kg.
Wow. Yeah. Samson, well done. You are ready for surgery. So now you have gotten to the target.
Yes.
Okay, so it means that any time from now,
yeah, the surgery can come on.
The surgery can come on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This is great. So this is Samson today, enjoying his drink. Is he able to take drinks like this?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't ask before giving that. I hope we are safe.
Yeah.
Yes. So, how has he been? Is he able to walk? Has he been able to walk? Crawl? He has been able to crawl, walk,
yes.
speak.
Yes.
That's amazing. So, how do you care for him? How has the care been? How do you make sure he's fine? Like?
Oh, okay. When I started coming to Kolebu, one of the things I learned is those child with Tetralogy of Fallot, you have to always keep them neat
Neat.
Yes,
Okay.
they have to always be neat, and you have to, you don't have to, you, they will prescribe some medications for you. You have to give them the medication. They don't have to miss a dose of it. And one thing that children with such condition is malaria.
Malaria.
Yes,
They are not supposed to.
get malaria. It's not good for them at all. Whenever they get malaria, they seizure.
They get seizure.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you do everything possible.
Yes.
Does it sleep under net or
Yes,
what do you do?
mosquito net.
Oh, okay. Okay. I think you've done so well because for a long time now I haven't heard that he's been sick. When was the last time he got sick or something?
About 9 months or 8 months.
9 months
Yeah.
or 8 months. So he has been stable.
Yes.
Is he able to play a little?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's really great. Okay. So I think we are really learning a lot. I have learned a lot. Okay. So do you have yes, so let me ask this. How is your partner support? How is it like?
I must say this. It's He has been supporting me, not always. This in this fight, it has been me, my grandmom, and midwife Sally, because she has. If it is not my grandmom, it is midwife Sally. They have been those supporting me financially. Yeah.
Okay. We hope that he would come back because it is necessary. His surname is it not the man's name?
Yes.
So I'm sure they will come back. Yes. For all those who have supported us up to this point, we say a big thank you to our anonymous donor who paid for the surgery. A child that he doesn't know, he hasn't seen before. He was able to pay all that much for his surgery. And to all the doctors at Kolebu who have seen him from the beginning of the case till now, I know it is a great work that you are doing. No amount of money can pay what you have done for him to this point. Yes, so we are praying that the good Lord will help us to end everything well. Okay, that is my hope. She said she has seen mothers who are even been waiting for 5 years. I pray that our kids will not get to that stage. Yes. Have you also seen children with similar conditions?
Yes.
How are they?
It hasn't been easy. Some as for some, they can't walk well. Some can't talk well, and some can. Today I met a man at Kolebu. He came with his daughter, who has a similar condition as my son. The dog, he can't even swallow anything.
Wow.
Yeah, he can't chew anything. Even if it's meat, the father will chew it and give it to.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it looks like Samson's condition is even
worse.
Better.
Yeah.
It looks better.
Yeah.
We thank the Lord for that. We pray that everything will go well.
Yes.
Do you have any advice for mothers out there?
Oh, okay. My advice for mothers out there is you should start your antenatal on time. You should take your medications, and you should choose the best hospital for yourself. I'm saying that because you can't just be there and choose any hospital and will be attending clinic. Maybe you may have a condition as mine. They can't figure it out immediately and you can lose your life.
Okay.
So
Okay. So she has said exactly what was in my mind. You could see from her initial story how the doctors at what's the name of that place? Presbyterian Hospital Agogo
Yeah.
were able to diagnose right from birth, at birth. Okay, she has mentioned all the signs and symptoms. So the Tetralogy of Fallot, if I want to go into details, we'll all be confused. My main aim is to help you to understand. So it's a heart condition, and when it happens, there are certain symptoms the child would show, even right from birth. And this one, they were able to even diagnose it to some extent when the baby was in the womb, by being able to determine certain things. Okay, preeclampsia came in. They were able to determine fetal distress.
Yeah.
They were able to diagnose the child and all that. Okay, so I quickly want to go through the signs and symptoms that I have here. Okay, so at birth there sometimes can be she didn't have any problem with the color changes, but for some children you will see cyanosis. Cyanosis is the child looks bluish. The child looks bluish instead of being very pink at birth. The child may be pink, okay, and poor weight gain, which she mentioned. It happened with her child, with his child. Is it her child?
Her child.
With her child. So it happened with her child. Poor weight gain, and the low birth weight is also to some extent an indication that something was not going on well. So getting tired easily,
Yes.
doing exercise or play, okay, is one of the signs and symptoms that you will see. Prolonged crying. I remember she sent me a video where the child was trying to breastfeed. She said the child even couldn't breastfeed at birth. They had to breastfeed through a bottle. Okay, so the child may not be able to feed properly because they don't have the energy to even take the breast milk. Okay, and because of the discomfort, they are hungry, they want to get fed, and they can't suck. The child will be crying, sweating, being irritability is also present, and sometimes there can be fainting. There can be fainting if the condition is very, very severe. Okay, and then there's heart murmur. So initially, that is what the doctors were able to determine when the child was born. They saw that the child had abnormal fetal heart murmurs, which is a sign of abnormal heart condition. Okay, so all these things are things that would show, but she was fortunate. Early diagnosis, help came to some extent on time, and then there was nutritionists and all this. A lot of people have been involved for us to get to this point. Yes, so I would want to say a big thank you for everybody, to everybody, especially to my followers. You have been amazing. Okay, without you we couldn't have brought Madame Efriye and Florence Efriye and Samson to this point. Okay, I remember when the first time I talked to you, you told me that your partner was helping to a point, but when he realized that the condition was more serious than he expected, then I'm sure he also lost hope.
Yes.
He lost hope. Okay, but for me, I'm just here saying that sometimes we get to that point, but partner support is extremely important in these cases. Yes. And so if you are a man who is watching me, if you are Samson's father who is watching me, or any man who is watching me, all that I will ask of you, okay, is that you would be able to support your partner who is going through any condition like this. I always say that it takes two to make a child. So after the child has come and there is a problem, leaving the child on one person is not the best. Okay, so partner support. I know there are a lot of men who are responsible out there. We need you at all times. we need you at all times, especially when it comes to children. One person doesn't raise a child unless in extreme cases where the mother or the father is not alive. But once you are alive and you are responsible for that child, no matter what the condition, please be present to support the person, because I believe Samson is going to be a great person. Okay, so such people, God give them intelligence, and then he will go and become a great person. So no matter how hard things are, you should stay. You should stay by your partner or whoever you have had a child with, or support. Yeah, the support is very important just for tomorrow's sake, okay? Because we don't know what Samson is going to become. Okay, so I'm so grateful to everybody for watching, to my followers for liking, for sharing, for sending us some contributions. Yeah, so whatever we need later, we would let you know. For now, I think we've been able to get to this point by God's grace and by your help. Okay, so in case they are going for surgery, it's time for surgery, please we'll come back to your doorstep so that you just help us finish this, and that will be all. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. We have a pregnancy class, we have solicitors for expectant moms, and you can get all this to help you throughout your pregnancy journey. Post your questions below and we'll come and then reply each one of them. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Samson, say bye-bye.
Bye. Yes. Bye.